Okay, ROAPE.net. We are here at the 5th African Conference at the University of Pécs, and I'm here with Professor Búr from the Budapest University. Please introduce yourself, Professor.
I'm since 1983 at the University of Budapest, and now I'm head of the Department for Modern and Contemporary History at that university, and we are very proud that we are the oldest existing Hungarian university. But now we are in the town of Pécs, which had the very first university in Hungary in the 14th century. Now, as you have mentioned, we have the fifth time this meeting of Africanists. At the beginning, they were mostly just Hungarians and just a few foreigners, and now maybe half of the participants are coming from the neighboring countries, from Western Europe, from the US, but even many from the African continent, and this is a very good development. This conference became more and more international with every 2 years as it was held.
Can you maybe tell us about African studies in Hungary? I mean, do you have the student body, but also the priorities or the research areas of the Hungarian scientists when they do African studies?
Hungary had a tradition of Asian studies for various reasons, and until recently, the Hungarian Academy of Sciences did not even have a group of African studies. So it's relatively new in Hungary, but students, they show a great interest towards Africa. Africa is our neighbor as a continent, and we have more and more Africans coming to this country. Africa is coming nearer and nearer to our country, so that is definitely a growing interest, and just a few universities can provide African studies. One is our university, where there was a center of African studies with a special approach towards Eastern Africa, being Swahili. The professor was a specialist in Swahili language and literature, and then it was added the University of Pécs, where we are right now, with the African Studies Center.
And what are 2 or 3 key themes that are discussed among Africanists in Hungary when it comes to the African continent?
There are fortunately way more than 2 or 3, because they are history students. They are interested in the African past, even in medieval or early modern age, not only in 19th or 20th century. There are political scientists who are interested in the development of the actual situation in the 55 African countries. There are medical students who are interested in tropical medicine. There are agriculturists who are interested in tropical agriculture, and so on and so on and so on.
Okay, and we are here, obviously, at a gathering of many Eastern European Africanists. What would you say is a particular Eastern European take, but also Eastern European contribution to African studies, if you would highlight any of them?
Under the communist regime, after 1960, after the Euro of Africa, in Eastern Europe, there were so many institutions dealing with Africa, and economic ties were quite close, exports and imports, and also in some cases even the Eastern European countries, not only the Soviet Union, sent troops or at least military advisors to different liberation movements. So it was all kinds of of cooperation between Africa and Eastern Europe. Then, with the collapse of communism, unfortunately, that disappeared, and only now Eastern Europe is rediscovering Africa. Maybe it's even too late because we have to deal with giants like China, India, Brazil, etc. But there is a knowledge which was accumulated in those countries, especially Poland, I would say, but East Germany, Czechoslovakia, Romania, Bulgaria, etc. And we are in the very last moment to save that knowledge from disappearance. And this, as a historian, I work with my students on that particular issue. But as a member state of the EU, if you want or not, you will have to know about Africa, because we do not want that just the former mother countries like the UK, France, Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, Spain, Portugal would decide issues concerning the cooperation between the EU and the AU. So we also, our contribution, if we really want to do a good job in this field, we have to prepare generations of students and give them an adequate picture of Africa.
Okay. Just besides the knowledge that is due to the socialist era, right? That you said the particular relationships you had, is there a particular contribution you would say in a contemporary time of Eastern European Africanists to African studies more widely?
Yes, there are so many talents, and such conferences are always a good place where those talents can show up and contribute. And nowadays, so many Eastern Europeans are working on the continent. They are studying in different parts of the world African studies they make, and this can be our special contribution, because we see Africa a little bit different than Western Europeans would say.
In what way? That's the final question. What way do you see Africa different?
We were never a colonizing country. So that is a special Eastern European touch. Then we also, we are not such a so-called normal society like Western European or North European societies. So we have maybe we understand better the hardships of the African population, corruption, not really working states, weak states, lack of infrastructure, etc., etc.
Thank you very much, Professor Búr. Thank you.
The pleasure was mine.
Thank you.